Welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching or re-listening to our broadcast. This is Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. Today, we're diving into a conversation that was sparked by Kelly Price. She recently said that Black women are some of the nastiest, most disrespectful people. Those words, of course, hit a nerve. We're going to unpack why people make statements like this, what it says about culture and fame, and how we treat one another as a community. I am Dr. LaNée Javette. I'm your host today, and we are joined by our royal panel. We have Dr. Alicia Watkins, who is a therapist and professor. We have Aisha Verzi, who is a financial expert, and we are going to get into this. Thank you for being here in the comments, in the chat. If you've heard about this, tell us what you think. Give us your comments and let us know what your thoughts are. We're going to go to the video so we can put context into it, so you can literally see what was said. And then we're going to break it down and we're going to talk about it. Let's go to the video and then we'll get started.
Is that all right? Here we go. I'm letting you have it right now because ain't nothing you can do about that. And while you looking for a new job, I'm still going to be selling out theaters and venues, looking like a fat slob in clothes that you said that I look nasty in, and my feet are so damn big, and who dressed me. I'm still gonna be making my money. I don't even do this, but I'm so sick of Black people and their bull. I'm saying what I want to say. If you got a problem with what I'm saying, and you know, Lord, pray for me, because I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Okay? I'm not there yet. Black women, you are some of the most nasty, disrespectful people on God's planet Earth. The things that you say about other Black women, but you're an activist, and you are educated, and you are this, and you are that, and you are the other.
All right. So in the chat, please chime in. Let me know your thoughts. The question to my panel today is, what were your thoughts when you first heard Kelly Price's comments? What was your immediate reaction, Aisha? What did you think immediately when you heard it and or saw it?
It was like, wow, what happened? And I was trying to see the video. That was really my first thought, like, wow, what happened? Why? So, yeah, I was sad about it. Very sad.
Okay. Then Dr. Alicia?
Not only am I sad about it, but she seems to be really, really hurt deeply by the comments from people who look like her. You know, it's one thing, you know, when you're in certain spaces that where people don't look like you and they don't get you, you know that those people aren't going to accept you. But when you identify with a certain group, like other African-American women, and it just hurt. It cuts more when those individuals say something really terrible about you online. And there's so much pain behind her words. Gee.
So I saw her video first. So I didn't really know what she was talking about. So when I first saw it, I was taken aback, like, whoa, we coming for the Black women? That's how we do it? We just gonna call them out like that? And so first I was offended, like, Black women isn't the nastiest, but then I had to think, this is social media. Something triggered it. What triggered it? So then I had to go and find what triggered it. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, now I'm not agreeing that Black women are the nastiest. We are catty, and we do speak our opinion, and sometimes we don't do it the nicest way. The same way we be like, oh, okay, polka dots, I see you. The same way we can hit you with one of them, we can be like, oh, like we have both. We are both, right? Both things can exist. However, I say that to say, when you are somebody of a particular stature in life and people expect to see you a certain kind of way, especially if I paid my money to come to your show, I do expect to see you living up to the value of the dollar that I paid you to do the show. So I'm not saying that she's right or wrong, but I'm saying she could have helped by showing up styled and dressed as the Kelly Price. I am a Kelly Price fan. I am a Kelly Price fan to this day. I got at least 17, maybe not 17, I'm exaggerating, but at least 7 of her songs on my love song playlist because I love me some Kelly Price. And so it pains me to see her have to speak in this way, but also to see her show up to a show in that way. So it's twofold, right? Do you think that Black women, specifically Black women celebrities, do you think that they have to hold a certain torch or behave a certain kind of a way or show up a certain kind of a way because they're Black women and they don't want to be tore down by social media, the internet, or the Black community? Aisha, do you think it's harder for a Black woman celebrity to show up and be treated fairly?
I think it is. It's hard because, again, the minority status that we have. And so when you have that space and God has given you that space to be in that space, there is an expectation because you're just the only one standing there. We see you, so you stand out even more. So you may have a higher standard that's expected of you because everybody's looking up to you and expecting you to represent. Now, because there's only one of you, please represent us well. You know, the way you carry yourself, the way you look at us, so that people will respect us. So I can see how that is. It's not easy because they're still people. They have feelings too. They get hurt like everybody else, even though they have a status. They go through difficulties like we do. So when they're out there representing, it's almost like we want them to forget their own pain and just stand out, and be the hero for us. But they're people too. So, but it is going to be difficult. But I also see that it's a privilege to have that space and to have to represent well. You have to really bite it and just represent well.
Okay, Dr. Alicia, why do you think she felt comfortable making that statement publicly, or do you think that she fed into the stereotype of Black women being labeled angry or nasty, disrespectful? Because it's like a catch-22. As she's talking about Black women being nasty and disrespectful, she's being nasty and disrespectful as a Black woman. So what are your thoughts about that from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, well, the stereotype of the angry Black woman is a little dismissive of the very real experiences that Black women face. So, if you're paying attention and you're really being empathetic to what Black women face, we should be angry. Like something's wrong with us if we're not angry in a sense. So the fact that she was presenting in the way of anger and frustration signals to us that, okay, there's something there for her to be angry about. I mean, think about our community. Like we put a lot of emphasis on appearance, on respect. I mean, she's going to be critiqued on that, her performance. I mean, it is something that we do. And I'm certain that she's been critiqued quite a bit. I mean, being a celebrity and being a singer, definitely she had, people are always judging her. They're judging your vocal performance. They're judging your stage presence. Like it is all a thing. I went recently to see, what is that called? The Legends, the Queens. And let me tell you, those women were dressed to the nine. It was Shaka Khan was dressed. Patti LaBelle. Come on. Dressed. She could barely, I mean, you could tell she's up there in age, but her outfit head to toe performance. And I think this is just traditionally what you expect to see when somebody is performing. And I think as the audience member, we expect you to put on a show. Like we expect you not to show up in some blue jeans and a oversized jacket. We want you to take it seriously. And maybe she just came across as somebody who was unprepared. Maybe the criticism, although I think online criticism can just get to be too much, but maybe deep down inside, maybe she wished she had prepared more. And maybe underneath some of the criticism is a valid critique of her performance. You know, she's got to put it in. She got to be like Patty, you know, and even who was it? It was Gladys Knight. Gladys Knight was dressed, makeup, everything was to the T, and her her vocalization was beautiful. She took it seriously, and maybe that's what she didn't come across as. So, I mean, both ways. It is a time for Kelly Price to kind of look at herself and what she's doing and how she prepares for the stage. And then y'all give people a break here. Be so mean.
So I'm going to address this comment right here by Mr. Research Teaches Politics for Black Men. They verbally attacked her constantly. Doesn't matter how an artist dresses while on stage. That artist doesn't owe a ticket buyer nothing more than singing. Putting it back her is deflecting. That is absolutely not true. I'm a business owner, okay? And Kelly Price, her business is singing. So she is a business owner as well. If I pay my hard-earned dollar to go and do business with her, I'm paying for her to sing and dance and entertain and do all the things. It is her job as a professional to give me the service that I paid for. It's no different than when you go and have dinner at a 5-star restaurant and you expect them to do all the things. If I was going to McDonald's, I would expect McDonald's. If I'm going to Ruth's Chris or Maple and Ash or Morton's or Maestro's, I'm expecting that same experience. So what I personally think, this is my opinion, is that Kelly Price, being the amazing singer that she is, because she is amazing and she's been around for years, what happens in most businesses and with most people, when you get to a certain level, you start to rely simply on your singing, which is what you're talking about. She showed up and she sang, that's all she had to do. No, it's not all she had to do. And that's not to say that as a Black woman, you have to work twice as hard to get half as far. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is just give me what I paid for. Like, I didn't only pay for you to get on stage and sing. I paid for the Kelly Price experience, not just your singing. So should she have been dragged the way she was? Was it disrespectful to talk about her weight? But that I'm not co-signing that. I don't think you have to be disrespectful or rude or mean to tell somebody or a business owner that you didn't like the experience. I think that you can give constructive criticism and say, well, I wish she would have showed up. You simply could have said, I wish I would have got the Kelly Price experience. And we would have known what you were talking about. It wasn't necessary to talk about her shoes and all the other things. Just, I wish I would have got the Kelly Price experience. If you had never seen her before, this is your first time, and you've been a fan of hers for years, and you go and that was what you get, I would have been let down. I probably would not have said anything. I don't even think I would have said anything online. I would have said it to myself and probably a homegirl. I wouldn't have taken it to social media. It's unnecessary. But you can't get to a certain level, giving people a certain thing, and then take it away and say, you got what you got. That's not right. That's all I'm saying. Okay. I'm sure my producer's in the back throwing her paper saying we got to go to commercial. So let's go to commercial and we'll be right back.
Woo! It's a good show right here. But I'm biased. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. My name is Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I'm the proud producer of this show because it is lit. If you want to receive notifications for when we go live Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is text the word Queens to 87948. That's Queens to 87948. That's QUEENS to 87948. Also, if you want to grow your money and not blow your money, all you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, there's courses, there's free giveaways. There's just no reason to be broke in 2025. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. Obviously, you don't want to be entertained here. You want to know enough to grow. Wait, I need to put that on a shirt. You got to know to grow. Got to know to grow. So know and grow with flynubianmoney.com.
Well, Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, we got another queen in the house. Okay. Carmen J is in the building. Okay.
Yeah. Good morning. How's
Okay.
everybody?
Good morning.
Good morning.
All
I
right.
just felt like I'll just hop on with y'all and just have this conversation since y'all talking about Kelly Price.
I mean, it makes sense. You're in the industry, you know, being an artiste and all. You know what I'm saying? Putting out the album, shameless drop. Go check out the album from Carmen J.
Hey.
We'll make sure we get the link up on the screen before we leave, so people can know where to go to get that.
Okay.
But you're in the industry, so you've been seeing what's been happening. You know what's going on. So do you think that Kelly Price's comments were more about her experience in the industry than every other Black woman, or do you think it's a Kelly Price thing or a Black woman thing or an industry thing?
Yeah.
I just threw all that at you at once. You just walked in.
Right. I'm like, it's all of the things, right? I think that just me just understanding that, well, this is what I believe. I believe that we are mirrors, right? People are constantly reflecting who we are back to us. And so if you are saying, Black women are nasty and, all of these things, there were people in the comments literally saying, girl, that is you. We watched R&B Divas. We watched the shows. But I'll say this, I want to add even more texture. In the 90s, Kelly Price was singing on Mo Money, Mo Problems. She was singing on all these songs. She was the background singer or the lead, the vocalist on the chorus, but they didn't show her face. Like they had her behind the scenes. They made a deal over her weight. Like you had to look like Aaliyah in the 90s to be on the forefront. And there was this woman who was bigger, at the time, and they just played her. She's been abused by the music industry. I seen on at that same time, I know that she had some issues with her husband and infidelity and all of these things. So this woman throughout the years has been like abused and talked down about and to for years, y'all. And I think that this is what we're seeing is maybe like maybe a compilation or an accumulation of just resentment, right? Or I don't know, Dr. Alicia, you'd have to just tell me exactly what this is. But if you she tired, literally, like her song, right? She's tired. She's tired of the criticism. She's tired of people saying bad things about her. She's tired of going back and forth about her weight. And I think that there is something to that. I think it's also made her a little defensive. And if she is mean, that's why. Like, I'm always looking for the thorn in people's sides. I don't think hurt people for no reason. Or when things or people lash out like this, I know that they're hurting. There's a thorn there. Where's the thorn from? So I would just like to add that texture that the music industry has not been good to her. And the internet has not been good to her. But also, when you look out into the crowd, when we panned into the crowd, I want to keep saying that there was nothing but Black people, Black women chanting and singing along with her. So I would just encourage Kelly Price to maybe just go inward and try to reframe some of what she's feeling and not make it of like a generalization, and maybe just look and say, like, there's some people that are going to be nasty. There are. It just is with the internet, right? It is, right? Even on this show, sometimes we have people that are trolls that say mean things, and we just keep it moving. Just imagine that exacerbated times like 1,000, 1,000,000, right? Where there's millions of people getting to say whatever they want about you. So I would just say that.
Yeah.
I wanted to add that texture.
No, and I think that that's important to say. So I'm gonna ask you another question, because I'm gonna bring it back to you, because now I got to ask you the flip side, because I think that part is important and that context is important. Does that then make it okay to have a person, a customer, a client, a fan pay their money to come and see you and present the way that you present?
Well,
Was the presentation then okay?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, whenever did Kelly Price give you fashionista? Whenever did she give you set a certain bar for this is the way I come out? Now, if we would have came to a concert and Beyonce would have had on them Nikes with a top, you'd have been like, Beyonce on crack. There's something happening. There's something wrong, right? But for Kelly Price, not so much. Like, she's always, again, been a plus size woman who's tried to figure out how to dress her body, sometimes hitting, sometimes missing. When she slimmed down a little bit, she's able to wear certain things, but she's never presented herself a certain way. She's always been a vocalist. And so you're going to see vocals. So I wouldn't put that on her. If she got on some jeans and a top, I'm like, okay, we coming. Kelly
But then
Price
we
about to sing us down.
So she would get the Lauryn Hill treatment. You would expect her to be late. Like with Lauryn, when we going to see Lauryn, we're gonna wait an hour, 2 hours. We ain't gonna trip. We're not gonna be mad. I've gone to see Lauryn Hill, and I've waited 2 hours, and I was okay with it because when she came out, she gave a show at the end. Like that 2 hour wait, baby, she made up for it in presence and performance and song and all the things. So for what we're saying then is, if you love Kelly Price and you're coming to hear her sing, don't expect no show. Don't expect no dress. Just come and get the voices. Just come and get the vocals.
No, she's gonna give you what she's always giving you. I don't understand what we're saying right now. She's gonna give you. Sometimes she shows up in some jeans and a top. Sometimes she shows up in a dress. She's just giving you what she's giving you. But what we know is she's gonna take us to church. She's gonna sing it down. She's not gonna miss. Kelly Price is not going to miss. You didn't come to see how she was dressed, is my point. You came for what you came for, right? So that's it. Like, we're not looking for her to be Beyonce or a fashionista. Who else? Sierra. We're not looking and saying like she gonna look good, she gonna be dressed to the nines. I can get my fashion cue from her. Like, no, it's not what you get. That's not what you get from her.
What are your thoughts, Dr. Alicia? I see over there you having all the emotions in your face. What are your thoughts?
I do. I love vibing with y'all got to say. Yeah, I mean, if I were talking to Kelly Price, I would really. I mean, I can connect with the fact that rejection it stinks. It hurts, especially from people who look like you. It's like you're losing. You're losing at home. Like not one white person in that audience. And then those people are rejecting her. So it's like, you're losing. Who knows what kind of external pressures are put on her for ticket sales and for all of the inside scoop that I feel like Miss Black Hollywood is giving us. And, I really think that, no matter what people say about you, and she's probably fighting some battles that we don't know. But when she's on the stage and when she is presenting herself publicly, she has got to keep her light bright. I don't know if people understand what that means. Like, she just seems really dark, like those statements she made, and it's almost like reactive. And she needs to limit her time on the internet. And she needs to develop in herself a community of people who know her and love her and can validate her, so that when she gets criticized on the outside, it's not going to hurt so much because she has a group of people who lift her up. And that's one thing that I would say to her. She needs to have a support system, someone who she trusts, someone who knows her, that she knows that can give her really honest criticism, but also lift her up. And so that internet people she doesn't even know can't permeate. Somebody where she can, no matter what happens, she could be her lightful self, because nobody would have known. Like, if she hadn't done that rant, which is not good to rant online like that. If she hadn't done that big rant, I never would have known. We wouldn't even be sitting here talking about it. She could just be Kelly Price, the beautiful, wonderful singer that she is, and do her thing. Who cares? But the fact that she was so hurt by that and it hurt her so deeply shows that she just maybe needs a little more insulation.
Okay, she needs Dr. Alicia. She needs some therapy.
Listen.
She needs something. Something's there. She needs something.
All right, let's go to our next video, and then we're going to come back. I'm going to get some feedback from you, Aisha, in a hot second. Let's go to our next video, and then we'll be right back. Not commercial.
Kelly Price is a prime example of your gifts will make room for you, but when you lack character, you will shut those doors that your gifts just made room for. I just watched the rant that she had, and first of all, I want to say this. I'm not on her level celebrity-wise, but I have worked on shop and television for almost 20 years. I know what it's like to be in a position where people are, keyboard pirates, and they're all big and bad, and they say the nastiest, most horrible things about the way you look, the way you talk, the way you do anything. I've had people, racial slurs, I've had all kinds of things over the years, people talking about my appearance, if I'm wearing lashes, if I'm not wearing lashes, when I'm pregnant, inquiring about my kids, stuff like that. I've had all of that. And one thing I have learned is that the second that you stop what you are doing, stop moving in your own greatness to address your haters, you have demoted yourself to their level. The reason why they feel so emboldened to talk about you the way that they do is because they feel like you're untouchable. They feel like they are way down here and you're way up there, because there's no way that they would be sitting right next to you saying the things that they say. They feel like you are up there. They're just a peon. You're not even going to know that they said what they said in the first place. That's why they feel so bold to say what they say. The second you stoop down to their level, you have, number one, shared your platform with them. Number two, you gave them power and they won. The best way to address haters is just let them hate. You can say what you want to about Beyonce. You do not see her in podcasts going back and forth defending her husband. You don't see her going back and forth on tabloids, talk this, talk that. Beyonce stays hidden, and the only time we see her is when she's making money and working. When she's on.
Okay, some good points were made. Alicia, I'll bring this over to you. Do you think society seems more comfortable labeling Black women negative than others? And if so, do you think that social media has amplified both and or either criticism and defense of Black women, right? So already we're Black women. The world will say we're angry, right? We're aggressive, or whatever the case might be. Do you think that social media plays a larger part in amplifying that for criticism and defense?
Absolutely. I think social media just amplifies everything. Whether or not you want it or not, it just does, because now you have more eyeballs on everything and ears on everything that you say or you do. Even myself being on social media, that's why I'm not on social media as much, because you become a target for no reason, just because you're out there. So it does amplify what people do, whether it's positive or negative, and that's the start point. So sometimes, even if it's positive, somebody finds a spin to make it negative, and then it's out there, and then somebody has risen and said, So, with the lady that was commenting, I was listening to her and saying, and it is true, there's a time where you just have to not even respond, because when you respond, it's almost like you're giving that person credence, like, okay, what you're saying might be true. But if you just ignore it, that's their opinion, and just let it go, things will eventually just fall away. Nobody will even remember that. So it's you actually, I think the way she spoke was so strong. And even though I didn't even know who she was, to be honest. And I was like, wow, these are your own people you're speaking about to the public about, right? So what does that say about you? That was how I felt, because when I came to this country many years ago, to be honest with you, ladies, my most negative experience came from our people. Honestly, very painful, that I carry till today. But the beauty is, I refuse to agree or believe that is how all of us are, because that's not true. Black women are not all like that. But the ones that I experienced when I first came to this country, if I kept that as my experience, I wouldn't even be in the community, because it was very hurtful. They didn't even know me, but they made comments about who I was, where I came from. You don't speak English. Look at your hair. Look at how you look. They really made they don't even know me. And in my face, right? So imagine if that was what you carried and you kept that. You won't want to even be around there, right? And then people that were non-Blacks that witnessed it happening will say, you know what? That's how they all are. Means when the women leave, they say that to you. So imagine if I carried that with me. But I know that that's not true. That's not true. But if we allow somebody to speak like that so boldly, it allows other people to see us that way. And that's very unfortunate, because that's not true. Some people are like that. Not all women are like that. So, yeah.
Okay. Excuse me. Good points also. Dr. Alicia. Tiara, are you still looking? I have a question for you.
Yeah. Am I
Okay.
still on? Yeah.
Are you still okay? Okay. So the question I have for you.
I was making notes.
Okay.
I'm writing.
So you made a good point when you were talking about they showed that they spanned the room and it was mostly Black women in there, Black people in there of a certain age, right? So when we talk about Kelly Price, we were like, she was the business in the 90s, the 2000s. She was singing her heart. You know what I'm saying? Like we get it. We understand. We know her. I would be interested in knowing where the criticism came from and who it came from. We know that, you know, we got your, I call them keyboard gangsters, right? There's a lot of keyboard gangsters out there that they feel like they have to have an opinion. They have to say something. Even myself, I said, if I went, I would have been disappointed, but I wouldn't have said anything. I wouldn't have said anything to anybody else. I would have just walked away like she's saying tonight. I would have preferred a full Kelly Price experience from the dress and all the things. But if she delivered on the singing, I would have been okay with it. I wouldn't have said anything about it. So all of that to say, how do you think the generational differences affect the way that Black women are perceived or talked about or represented by way of social media and what people have to say? Do you think it might be more younger people? Do you think it was people our own age that had that feedback? What are your thoughts?
Who are you asking? Dr.
You,
Alicia or
you,
myself?
you.
Oh, I mean, they are at the shade room. They're not far away. Like you can go to the shade room and go through the comments and know who these people are that are making comments. Literally, you can go to this message or this video in particular on the shade room and see the gambit of people that have things to say that are negative, that are positive, that saying, but sis, your feet are too big. Your feet's big. Them shoes, what didn't work? Kelly Price needs a stylist. Like I went through the list of comments, and so they aren't far away, and they
No.
are.
Generation. Do you think it's the younger generation? Is it our own generation and peers? Is there?
I think it's all. I think it's all. The thing about the internet is it blends us. It blends us all together, and we can all make. I'm not going. It's like we did grow up on Kelly Price in the '90s and the 2000s, and I think that it's probably us, right? The people that know her, because the younger kids is not paying attention. They watching NBA YoungBoy or whoever they're watching, right? Whatever singers, Doja Cat or whatever they're into. But I think it's a combination. People that know her and probably have listened to her music before are fans of her. Like, man, sis look a mess or whatever. You catch somebody on their bad day, it. You can get these from the internet. You can get we just know how the internet is. It's like I was just yesterday, for example, I wanted to be serious, but I hopped on the shade room and saw some ICE taking some lady. Like she was like they were running after a lady and snatching her. And of course, I was like, dang, that's so messed up. And then I went to the comments and Black people were being Black. And they were, before I left, I was cracking up because we don't take things seriously. We are going to make the jokes. We're going to be funny, even if it means that people become the butt of the jokes. We're going to roast people. That is in our culture. That is what we do. You go to my house during the holidays, everybody is getting roasted. And if you don't have tough skin, you're going to be like, man, you was talking about me. Like that is a cultural thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? So is it that Kelly Price needs the tougher skin? Because this is just who we are as a culture. We're going to talk about each other in a loving, but sometimes in a harsh way.
Dr. Alicia, what do you think? That's a good point that Tara just made right there. What do you think? Is it just a cultural thing? People should just get over it? Should we have tough skin or should we be more empathetic to somebody's plight? Meaning we know that Kelly Price is overweight. Meaning we know that, and I'm saying this from a place of love when I say this, so don't come for me, that she might be probably a B celebrity, maybe a C celebrity. So from an economic standpoint, she probably does not have a hired stylist. That's not shade. That's just being realistic, right? Before we go to make comments, maybe we should think about this person's life situation. To what Tiara said, she's not a Beyonce. She's not going to step out on the stage and do the like that's not her lane. So if we would I don't want to say lower our expectations, but be authentic in our expectations of the performer, then maybe in our criticism, we would be more considerate.
Boy, people can't say it to you in your face, though, can they? They'll say it online. They won't say it to you. Say it to my face. Nope. No. They don't have the nerve to do that. We invented the dozens. We invented cracking up. Like, you couldn't have gone to my high school and had a hang up because they would talk about you. But the high school I went to was loving. It was an all-black high school. Everybody loved you. And then, they would talk about my big old glasses, and I would laugh because I'd be like, "You're right. I do got big glasses on today." And I would be laughing with them. So I never really felt embarrassed by it because everybody knew their thing. And it was really out of love, but it could be hurtful sometimes. But the dozens, that's kind of like what we do. And it's a good way of like self-acceptance, and just being like, yeah, that's me with my big glasses on. My vision is really bad. I'd be like, boy, genetics. But I just remember, and I never remember walking away from being teased. I never remember walking away feeling awful. I just remember like laughing because it was funny. I don't know. I mean, she just clearly has some resentment there. And, on this level, Kelly Price has been at it for a while. She's got to be used to some of this stuff too. And she also needs to kind of reframe some of these comments to say, you know what? Sometimes when people make a negative comment about you online, it says more about them than it does about her. And she just needs to know this. She needs to just internalize some of that and be like, child, I did the best I could. She's taking herself too seriously. And sometimes you just need to lighten up. And, you make a mistake. You do things and be like, oh, shoot. Okay, well, next time I'll try to get, hey, you're right about that. My shoes I could not get the right shoes together. Help me with my shoes. I mean, she could have twisted this around and made it a conversation so much better than what she did.
Okay. We're going to keep having this conversation. We're going to take a commercial break real quick. And we're going to come back. And we're going to keep diving into this in a hot second. We'll be right back.
I know you're busy. You got things to do. And you can't take us on the go with you every single day. Good news for you. We are now on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, now you can listen to us on Spotify. Search Fly Nubian Money and all the episodes shall appear. All you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, leave some comments, tell people how you love us so that when other people come along and are looking for a great show to watch, they can find Fly Nubian Money too. One last thing, and just in case you've been sitting under a rock, Fly Nubian Money now has an investment club. We are the Fly Nubian Money Club. It's easy. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com, and I am committed to bringing in top experts from all industries to help you level up. They're teaching us the skills that we need to compete in this market. We often say that nobody is coming to save us, not the government, but guess what? We're coming to save us. I'm coming to save you with the Fly Nubian Money Club. So listen, all you have to do again is go to flynubianmoneyclub.com. We have a 30-day free trial set up just for you, just for those people that are struggling. Even if you ain't struggling, you ain't got to struggle. I'm coming. Okay, let me stop playing. I'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon. Okay. Aisha, question for you. What role do you think that the media plays in either breaking or reinforcing stereotypes? We talked about this being on the Shade Room. I would be curious to know, did Essence cover it? Did any reputable Black media cover it? And if so, how did they frame it? Right. So we see it on the Shade Room. I think that they just throw shit out there just for propaganda sometimes, just to feed these stereotypes and narratives. What do you think? Like, does the media have a role in this, and should they do better with this type of content?
Absolutely. Media can shape how people view you because they just do. And I'll tell you an example. Okay. Back home, we see shows, we watch TV and everything, but when the media now starts showing us things that are negative or things that are just very extreme, guess what happens? There's people there start acting that way. because the media tries to shape how we feel or what we believe about ourselves. Whether we like it or not, subconsciously, what they show us over and over again start to seem as if maybe it's true, right? And so they play a huge role. And when again, back home, seeing what we see and then showing what maybe whatever is happening here and they show it back home. And we're like, okay. And then we start copying that. And then you come here, you see the same thing playing out, especially in our community. I actually noticed that. I said, how come? Why is it that they only show bad things about Black people? I even noticed that. Why is it that every time there's nothing good? But I said, but that's not true. I see good things happening, but how come they don't show those things? Why are they only showing the bad ones over and over again? So everybody sees that and says, oh, that's just how they are. That's just how they are. So they do play a huge role. And I think that they're trying to shape something to sell something. And that's something they're trying to sell, is that these people are this way and consequently treat them in such a way. Honestly, I believe that.
It's white supremacy. Yeah.
She says white
I
supremacy.
blame white supremacy all day, every day.
Everything, all the things.
Every day.
Dr. Alicia, do you think that celebrity women have a responsibility to speak more carefully about Black women? They have the ear of the public. They have the eyes of America. And so people listen to what they say. What they say will go further and farther than, people on the ground that are doing real work because they're quote unquote fame, they're quote unquote celebrity. So do they have a responsibility in how they talk and teach and speak about us?
Oh, you know what? You two bring up really good points. Aisha, you bring up a good point. I've always felt that way about the Shade Room. The Shade Room, I mean, that's their name, the Shade Room, but they really do sensationalize and kind of magnify a certain part of Black culture. I don't really see myself reflected. Although I do follow it because I do like the juice. I like to get the gossip. Yeah, but at the same time, they really do kind of promote this narrative about Black people that doesn't really include all aspects of Black people. That's a really good point, Aisha. And then, okay, so Dr. LaNée, you were talking about the responsibilities of people who are in the public eye. Is that your question? And how should they take their position? What should they do with the fact that they have this big platform and this big following? What are some of the things they should do? I think that's also a really great one, because I think like somebody like Kelly Price, her voice carries influence. She really could have used her experience to name the harm of like body shaming and encourage Black women, to kind of heal. She could model radical self-acceptance, all of these wonderful things. She could take this situation and really elevate it up to a place where it can, of course, I'm always thinking about healing, where it can spark healing. It could bring, she could bring some more, I don't know if I want to say class, but instead of like reacting to what was happening for her, you react to your close friends and family. But when you're online, she could have had an opportunity, after processing it personally, share in a way that kind of builds bridges instead of like widening the hurt and the pain that she was experiencing. Those are good questions.
I love it. I saw a comment. Hold on. I thought Booker, thank you, Booker. That was nice of you to say. And I'm going to give this to Tiara when we come back from this video. Is this true, Tiara? TSR, the Shade Room, I'm assuming, is a Black-owned woman business. Does a Black woman own the Shade Room? Does anybody know?
Yes, her name is Angelica. I met her before. She is a Nigerian American, and she's dope. She's really smart, and she's a dope lady that started the Shade Room off a chat, like a little chat room. It started like where they would just post topics and people would just weigh in, similarly to what's happening on the Shade Room now. But people I think they post things. I know you said it, Dr. Alicia, like they actually like sensationalize, but I think at this point the culture is you post something and then people find like the shadiest or funniest or like they play the dozens in the chat, right? That's what the Shade Room is. It's like, people just say the funniest things, and I mean that's before bed, I'm not gonna lie, I'll go to the shade room and just be like, like it's like my little wind down. I be
The comments be the best part.
Black
Very
people are
funny.
so clever. They are so smart and funny and clever, and that's what I get from it. I don't get like, I just don't get the shade part. I just laugh along and then keep it moving.
Okay, we're gonna go to commercial. We're gonna come back. Don't go anywhere. We still got like a good solid 15 minutes of this, so do not go nowhere. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Oh Lord, where is the commercial? Amen. Jesus be a fence. Y'all pray for me.
Are you a Black business owner looking to expand your reach? Well, has Fly Nubian Money got good news for you? We are building a Black business directory to connect you with customers who need your services. And here is the best part. It is absolutely free. Email us at info@realvirtual.net. Send us your business name. Tell us a little bit about what you do, what services you offer, your website address, and your contact information. That's it. Together, we are going to build and circulate the Black dollar. Get listed today and start connecting with people who are probably already looking for you.
Already looking for you. Make sure you get registered, get signed it up. Okay, so we are going to watch a video real quick, and then we're going to come back and we're going to keep this conversation going.
The problem is you come in with an attitude all the time. That really is the problem.
Really? The problem is that you're talking stuff behind people's back.
I don't talk nothing behind your back that I won't say to you.
I wish you would, because we both know how I get down. I'm very upfront.
And I have nothing to be afraid or
Then
ashamed of.
please say what you feel.
What is it that you want? What do you want me to say?
Please say what you feel.
I don't say anything I don't mean, and if I said something about her, I say it to her face, and I have no qualms about saying what I think.
You are acting crazy in here. You jumped up in this man's face and you had this confrontation with him that was unnecessary and it was disrespectful. He didn't have anything to do with
Why don't you ask me what that was?
Go ahead. What was it, Kelly?
It was a dramatic moment.
Dramatic moment.
Clearly it worked, because you're talking about it.
Oh, that's really exciting. It was disrespectful.
Okay, well, that's the way you took it.
I just want to rehearse. That's it.
If that's what you got from it, take that and run.
I'm not running anywhere. I'm actually right here.
Who's being combative now?
No, I said I'm right here to work.
Who's being combative now?
Nothing's moving forward. We're on a time limit.
I'm not being combative at all, but I'm not going to be punked either. And I'm not going to be accused of being two-faced, actually, is what you said.
I'm speechless. I'm like, where do you go from that? Okay, let's start with our doctor. And is there a doctor in the house? Dr. Alicia, what are your thoughts when you watched that video? What came to mind?
Oh my God. Let me tell you, the wrong people have great voices. If I could sing, y'all would be like, here she come again singing. If I sang now, everybody would just get offline because I cannot sing. But wrong people have great voices. Like, that was just so ultra petty. And I don't know, maybe it was the producers and, we want to sensationalize things, but we're not going to see, it's not going to be an interesting show if you get a room full of Black women and they all get along. That is not going to be a fun show. Everybody's regulated. Everyone talks about their feelings and they ask for what they want and there's good boundaries and all of that. That's not going to be an interesting show. That's not going to be a fun show. So you get all these Black women together and then they start fighting. That is really sad and super petty of them. But Shantae Moore, she's selling out tickets. She's killing it too. All of them are, they're not selling out stadiums like Beyonce, but they can go to the House of Blues and sell out. I'll go see them, And
I think it's fair and let me just say this. I think it's fair that we don't have to compare, not specifically to what you said, Dr. Alicia, but not comparing everybody to Beyonce. Because sometimes I think, and again, I'm not saying to you specifically, but we have now set the standard as Beyonce in general. Like, that's the top tier. But I think that when we think about these artists that came before Beyonce, that came in our era, that didn't, you know what I'm saying? They are still doing their thing. To be able to still have a career this long is reputable, right? We were talking about the Queen's tour. They're still touring, and they come out and they give a good show. Shantae, when she comes out and she gives a good show. People are still coming out and giving a good show. And so I think that that's fair to say. And that was mostly for C. White, who said, I'm not feeling the love in the room. The love is in the room, because I didn't say anything about her wig or her weave or whatever she has going on. I didn't say anything about how she was presenting herself in that clip.
I think he meant on the video.
Oh, good. Because I was like, I'm going to keep it to myself.
Before you take Dr. LaNée over, let me snatch you back. I think he talked about the video. Go ahead. Continue.
The love is in the room. So that takes me to my next question. Are Black women unfairly punished for speaking up compared to others? Because I think that there is a way to speak up without speaking nasty, without being overly criticizing. When we're giving criticism, there's a word before this is constructive criticism, not the dozens, not bullying, not talking smack, not being funny. But if we really want to help our good sister Kelly, we do have to be able to say to her, yo, maybe you could have presented a little bit differently. Maybe, because to me, how you show up tells me how you feel about me. Okay. What Booker said, when I come here every day, sometimes I'm together up here and I might have some boxer shorts on at the bottom. Y'all don't know. Like I might have pants and I might not. But up here, y'all gonna get Dr. LaNée Japhet. My earrings is going to be in, my hair is going to be together, brows is going to be complete. Like I'm going to show up and give you Black excellence because I know that you deserve that, right? I'm not just going to rely on my knowledge, but I know how I love you. I'm going to show you how I love you by how I show up here every day, like all the other women do, right? And so I think that it's important when we talk about Black women or Black people, especially when we're critics of the Black experience, to present a certain kind of a way, right? So the question again is, are Black women unfairly punished for speaking up, criticizing, giving feedback compared to others? I'm going to go to you, Tier, because you are in deep thought.
I was just thinking about what you're saying, right? Like, are we criticized for speaking up? Yes, but I think that, like, the conversation, if we can just talk about our experiences with other Black women for a second, and I don't mean to derail what question you asked me.
No, that's fine.
But I'm just thinking about sometimes when I walk into a room full of Black people, sometimes I gotta disarm. Right? Can we just talk about our experiences with Black people sometimes? That sometimes when I walk into a room full of Black people, sometimes I do have to disarm other Black women. Not because I'm pretty, not because I'm whatever. Like, I'm just thinking because we sometimes we wear a bit of a defense, especially other Black women, right? So I've walked in, I'm like, okay, hair, okay, nails, sis, I see you wearing that. Like, I literally and now it's just a habit. If I see something nice on a Black woman, I'll be like, sis, I don't know if somebody told you today, but them shoes is bomb. Like, give them up. Or that's the way I engage with Black women. So again, that being my mirror, and most of my experiences are positive because that's kind of the way I approach it. But I had to make that a thing, right? And so I don't know what your experiences are, but do you find yourselves, queens, having to disarm other Black people when you show up in rooms? Can we just have that conversation for a second? Is that just me?
Go ahead, Dr. Alicia. You go ahead.
Yes, I do have to do some disarming lots of times. I mean, I it is I really do think that I just have to always be reminded of the fact that I have close friends and family, very close friends and family that know me, that know who I am, they know my character. They validate me, they support me, and they support the work that I do. And so I always reflect on that, and it keeps me really grounded. Mm-hmm. And so if I get stuff coming from everywhere, and I do, by the way, I'm able to take it with grace, mm-hmm. and just say, you know what, the people, just the people who know me know who I am, and they know my character, and they know what I'm about, and they know that I'm a true social worker too in the heart, and how I treat people. And these people have known me my entire life. They raised me. They are my people. And so I just focus. I have that to lean on, and you really do need that to be grounded, because being on the internet, having an internet presence, it is. I'm just thinking about some of the comments and snide remarks, and you can feel it. When somebody don't like you, like y'all know it. When somebody has something towards you. And again, it's just like, let's not think about that. Just be yourself, be who you are, be your wonderful self, and let that speak for who and what you are. And I just let everything else go. That's how I live.
So I never thought about it as disarming.
Yeah.
Until you said it that way, disarming. Like when you walk in, because remember, I'm shy and I'm an introvert. Even today, to this day, I am still shy and I am still an introvert. I have extrovert tendencies because of what I do. So I can speak, I can teach, I can do all the things. But when it's done, I'm about to go to my room. I'm about to do it myself. I got to put it back together. So when I walk into a room, I'm disarming myself first by saying, hey, girl, I see you. I'm getting into my energy, right? So that I can be present in the moment. And I know that as Black women, we don't always, I'm not saying we don't, I'm just saying we don't always big ups, make eye contact, say, I see you. I just came home from Goldman Sachs 1 million Black women in business orientation, 314 Black women entrepreneurs in this room. And when I tell you the energy was like Wakanda, and I know Wakanda's not a real place, but you know how they make it seem like it's just like that's what it was like in this room. Big ups everywhere. Black women talking to each other. Girl, I see you. I see you. Girl, you cute. I mean, it was just, when you talk about disarming, there was no animosity. Folks was helping people in the hallway. I can't find my seat. Oh, let me see where you at. Oh, right here. It says this is your table. Go over there. Like we was in the building, like we knew each other forever. And that is because over 1,000 people applied and only 314 got in this room. So we already knew if you was in this room, you was about your business. And so where you would expect or think it's going to be something different, it wasn't that. It was one of the most profound experiences that I have ever had as a Black woman, to be in this room with these other Black women whose guard was way down here. But I never thought about it as disarming or even put that tone or that voice or those words to it. But that is a lot what we do a lot of times when we walk into the room, and we want to make sure that you feel good, sis. I don't mean to say it this way, but I'm going to say it like this. You're safe. Yeah. I'm safe. Yeah. This is a safe space. Yeah. That's what you're doing when you're doing that, by saying this is safe. So very interesting.
Or like you said earlier, can I just say this and I'm gonna be quiet? Or if you walk into a room, and sometimes like we're not all the same, right? I know I could walk into this room and we'd be like, hey girl, hey Dr. Alicia, hey y'all. Like I know I can walk into, but every woman, Black women, especially depending on where you're from, I have to be guarded. They have to be a shield, right? So if sometimes I go into the inner cities and maybe I'm like the little girls, or the women, or wherever I am. Let's say I used to teach a media class in Inglewood, and the girls were just a little harder. So I had to come in and soothe that, whatever that was, right? So I'm just saying, depending on where you walk into, if I'm over in the, in the streets, maybe the girls are a little, like I said, even the project girls I can relate to, right? Just coming from New Orleans, I can relate to them too. So there's just a way that I can, a language I can speak that I just do based on where I am. And, so I just think that's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing for Black people. We just have to know how to speak each other's language.
Mm-hmm. I think that's good. What about you, Aisha? Let's get your feedback too. How are you when you're entering a room?
Yeah, I think I agree with what Tara was saying, that what you have to gauge the room, but I try to go with a positive attitude. I don't judge until I get the feedback that people are giving me. I go because I'm confident in who I am, where I'm from, and who I am. I'm just confident in who I am. So I'm not expecting anything great, but if I go in, I project myself in a good way. I'm welcoming and also wanting to be kind to anybody I meet. Until I get the opposition, then I walk away. But I don't spend too much time worrying about it. I just go about my business, being kind to people as I go around the room. But the sad thing sometimes is when you meet some people, they have a wall up, so it's hard to know how to respond with them. So you're like, well, should I approach them or should I just walk away? That's the only thing I feel sad about when I walk into a room with our people, where if I see a group of women, I'm not sure if I should talk to them or not. I don't like that feeling. I want to just be, hey, how are you? It doesn't matter, right? There's no need to have a wall, especially if you don't know the person. So I'm very open. Hi, how are you? But then they give you this, then it's kind of difficult. But those that are open, I just go with them and just talk with them. And the other ones, I don't judge any way. I just say, well, I guess you don't want to talk to me. That's okay. I talk to somebody else. So, but women do that though. It's just a natural thing about women, and even back home with women do that too. When you go places you don't know anybody, they look at you up and down. It doesn't mean they don't like you, just that they don't know you yet, right? So you just allow them some time before they warm up to you or something like that. It's just a human experience that we have to navigate, through. And by the end of the day, just being kind. That's it. Just be kind. Until somebody does something negative towards you, you just be kind. That's it.
I love it. Anonymous is always funny. He had a comment up higher that I can't go back to scroll to, but this one was still good. Bro, men be in the room together and not say nothing to each other and still get along. Listen, good for y'all. Okay, good for y'all. Good for y'all. We talk about something different. That's not this conversation, but good for y'all. Let's get to some stats, and then we're gonna get to our final thoughts, and we'll let you guys get out of here. So, a 2023 Pew Research survey found that 62% of Black women feel they are unfairly stereotyped as angry or difficult. I'm surprised that's so. I'm surprised at that number. Okay, Black women are disproportionately targeted in online harassment. 84% report experiencing racism and sexism combined in digital spaces. Studies show that Black women face harsher judgments in professional and social spaces compared to their peers, often tied to stereotypes like being loud or disrespectful. Research shows that media portrayal of Black women heavily shape public opinion, reinforcing harmful labels like sassy or hostile. Listen, we're not making this stuff up. It's legit. It's real. And so with our final thought, my initial question was going to be, what would you say directly to Kelly Price if you could respond? But I kind of want to throw you guys a curveball. You can also answer, how can Black women shift the narrative, right? The stereotypes and things of that nature without always having to prove ourselves. So how do we go from being perceived as angry and mad and nasty without having to prove ourselves, especially in a world and a climate like this where we always got to prove ourselves, like, right? So you can take your pick, or you can do a little razzle dazzle and hit them both. It's up to you. Okay. Dr. Alicia, I'll start with you, and also let people know where they can find you.
Okay, this is final words. Okay, I'm definitely going to talk to Kelly Price if I could talk to her. But gosh, those stats are so spot on. As a college professor, I just want to say that teaching evaluations from students are always much lower for Black women than they are for any other group. So I just want to keep that. I just want to let that be known that yes, there are some definitely some validity there. Okay. Talking to Kelly Price, what would I say to her? Kelly, I heard what you said. I can feel the hurt in your voice. I can hear that you are seemingly exhausted, living under this magnifying glass. All of your choices, your body, your clothes, your presence, even your vocals are scrutinized, judged, spoken as if you are not human, but just an object for people to dissect. I would also say to her and everybody else, she's a human being. She's got real feelings. Just because she's a celebrity doesn't mean that she's not hurt by what she's doing. And I think we should honor her pain. being criticized is really tough, especially by your own people, by Black women. It just feels like betrayal, and it stings. It stings a little more when someone who looks like you do that. So I think clearly with these statistics, she's not alone. There's so many of us that really feel like we're judged. Our hair, our choices, all of that have been judged, and she's been criticized. And I would recommend for you, Kelly, to get into some circles that uplift you, not diminish you. I think she deserves to be whole. She deserves to be loved and feel good in the skin that she's in and the gifts that she has that she wants to impart. So that's what I would say to her. Y'all can find me at coachingwithdralicia.com. I'm a therapist, a social worker, a college professor, yes. And you can find me on all social media. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, Coaching with Dr. Alicia.
Thank you, Dr. Alicia. Aisha, your final thoughts for today?
Final thoughts. Kelly Price, I believe that, you're talented based on what, I was speaking about. You're very talented. I think you should just keep, living in your talent and let God use you. And if people say things about you that you don't like, again, find a group of friends that know you and love you and care about you. Talk with them. But when you go on stage or represent yourself, try to be a positive role model, because we know you're a human being and you have feelings that that can be hurt. But we also look up to you, for example, for being a good example, and for others to also see us that way through you. So that's what I would say. But for us as your sisters as well, we should be kind to each other, to speak good of each other, and not be so mean to each other as well, because there's no need to be mean to people, because all of us are going through something, and it's not wise to just throw each other under the bus just because we want to feel good about ourselves. Because at the end of the day, it only says more about who we are than the other person. So I think that hopefully that's something that all of us would take into consideration, that whatever we do is actually a mirror of us. It's not the person, it's actually us. And with that being said, you can find me at the Black Business School. I love being a part of the Black Business School, because we're really trying to change the narrative, be the people that people want to emulate and be like. So hopefully you can find me there if you need anything with finances, with your insurance, and also www.aishaverzi.com.
Great. Thank you so much. Tiara, Miss Black Hollywood, Karma J, your final thoughts?
Do you hear static when I talk? Am I good?
Say it again.
Do you hear static when I talk, or am I good?
A little bit.
Hear a little static? Okay, I'll try to keep it brief. All right, really quick. One of the things before we started Fly Nubian Money is I prayed to God for a tribe of women. I had it specifically, like, I want a tribe of women who are smart, who are educated, who are uplifting, who are positive. And I was like, I really just want to be around Black women that I get to talk to every day, that I get to like just engage in their lives and just like have friends. And here comes an opportunity to produce a podcast. And what I got from this is more than anything I could describe to y'all. Like what I'm able to learn every day, what I'm able to, I end up, and I have relationships with all the queens, right? From time to time, it'd be like we get off and I talk to one of the queens for 2 hours. I'm like, man, I don't want to talk to you this long. But I really, so I would say that my experience with Black women has been so amazing. I think that Black women are magic. When I'm looking around at the things that Black women achieve and who they are, even, I just think that we are so talented and creative and amazing. When I come out to conventions, the things that people say, around the water coolers at work, is like, Black people don't do this and that. And then I go to places like A, B, and C, and I see a completely different experience. And so those experiences have changed my life. So I would just say, if Kelly could have a tribe of women that make her better, everything about my life has gotten better. My credit is up, my money is up, life is up because of just my surroundings. And so I would just say that to Kelly. I would say, get around some women that are lit and that can lift you up when you need it most. I say that. And then you said, how can we shift the narrative? I would just say, be a good human being. Just be good to people. Just be good, right? Wherever you are, show up in a way that is good for others. Like, don't just walk into rooms looking for things what you can get out of the room, but it's like, what can you give to the room? What invite most of the time I walk into the room and try to make the room better if I can. And so that is always my intention. And everywhere I walk with, even when I'm with my kid in the morning, I wake up and I'm like, how can I make your life better, love? Like, what can I do for you? Right? Just always being of service. So I would just say that's the vibe. That's the energy 24/7. And it's made my life so much better for it. So if you're looking for me, you can find me. Listen, y'all, I just put out an album. Woo! Put out an album. Um, you can go to CarmenJ.com. It's such a vibe. It's a good, if you're looking for good R&B vibes. It's just that at this moment, if you want to follow me, I'm at Carmen J. Carmen J Music across all platforms. If you want to see me pop, locking and dropping and going through my own self-induced R&B boot camp, um, you can go on there. I have rehearsal in a few minutes, as a matter of fact. Just outside, just trying to sing songs and put shows together and hopefully come to a place near you.
I love it. So I'm going to end our segment today. Oh, not Rich Melanated, Yolanda Spivey. Black women need to do better by each other, stop policing each other's actions, and accept how each other look on an individual basis. And so my final thought is going to really be around how can Black women shift the narrative without having to prove themselves. And I'm going to literally say, get you a friend like Tierra, Miss Black Hollywood. And what I mean by that is, when I am an introvert. Like, I really am an introvert, and I really am shy. Like for real. When we were at All Black National Convention this last week or two ago, Tierra speaks to everybody. Everybody. If we are walking through these hallways, it don't matter who it is, man, woman, child. Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? And don't not speak back. Hey, I said hi. Did you? Hey, like, she gonna make sure that you get this Black hello. She gonna make eye contact with you. And I watched her and I was like, damn, I wish I could be more like that. So much so that when I went to New York the week after to Goldman Sachs, I did it myself. Hey, sis, how are you doing? Hey, how are you? If I saw somebody with their head down, I was like, hey, are you okay? Like, are you good? Do you need anything? Like, who she, what is, rubbed off on me a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It made me a little bit more, okay, let me reach out across the aisle and say hi to people. So I think it's that. I think it is giving love to people the way that we would want love to be given to us. If we were to have a bad day, step on the stage looking crazy, walking down the hallway, not know anybody, or just having a bad day, how would we want somebody to greet us, to receive us, or to be kind and to be patient with us? Again, not to say that we can't critique, because if we don't critique people and we don't tell them where they're not doing right, they can't grow and they can't do better. So we do have to critique, but we can critique from a place of love. We can be the iron that sharpens the iron. And I think that is how we grow. Being in the right room, having the right conversations, being open to criticism that is done constructively and from a place of love, then we can all elevate, we can all grow, and we can all be the sister that we need, or the brother that we need, for that matter. And so that's my final thought. That's my 2 cents. I'm Dr. LaNée Javette. I'm a Brand Your Brilliance strategist and business coach. I specifically work with Black entrepreneurs who package and sell their expertise and want to brand their brilliance and make money off of it. Thank you so much for joining us on Fly Nubian Money. Today's conversation wasn't just about Kelly Price. It's about the deeper issue of how Black women are seen, treated, and spoken about in society. The truth is, Black women carry culture, drive economies, and lead communities. But harmful narratives can weigh us down if we allow them. So let's challenge those labels, uplift each other, and continue writing our own story. Remember, at Fly Nubian Money, we help you master your mindset and maximize your money and be a better sister or brother. That wasn't on there, but I just wanted to add that. We love you guys. We thank you so much for tuning in every day. Go out today, be blessed, stay Black, and be one. We'll see you next time. Bye.